Welcome to the Andy Griffith Show Challenge, Season 5. You say you're a fan of the Andy Griffith Show, but do you know every episode? Let's find out as we recap every episode of Season 5 with trivia questions along the way. In Opie Loves Helen, Opie develops a crush on his teacher, Helen Crump, after she steps in as his dance partner. When Andy learns Helen is the object of Opie's affection, he gently explains that Helen is his own girlfriend, leading Opie to back off. In Barney's Physical, Barney's job is at risk due to new height and weight requirements for deputies. Faced with losing his job, Barney decides to quit, but Aunt Bee tries to fatten him up, and Andy devises a scheme to stretch him taller. In Family Visit, Aunt Bee's sister and brother-in-law visit the Taylors, but their stay quickly becomes a nuisance. The once welcome guests turn the household upside down, leading to humorous and trying moments for Andy and Aunt Bee. In The Education of Ernest T. Bass, Ernest T. Bass returns to school to earn a diploma and impress his girlfriend. Andy enrolls him in Helen's class, but trouble brews when the unruly Ernest falls for Helen instead. In Aunt Bee's Romance, Aunt Bee's old beau, Roger, returns to court her, much to Andy's dismay. Andy finds Roger's sense of humor grating and fears Aunt Bee might marry him. Andy struggles to hide his discomfort, worried about Aunt Bee's future with the charming but annoying suitor. Time for a trivia question. In Barney's Physical, what is the new height requirement for Barney to keep his job as deputy? A, 5 feet 6 inches. B, 5 feet 7 inches. C, 5 feet 8 inches. Or D, 5 feet 9 inches. The answer is C, 5 feet 8 inches. In Barney's Bloodhound, Barney adopts a lazy mutt named Blue and is determined to train him as a crime-fighting bloodhound. Despite Andy's objections, Barney takes Blue to track down an escaped convict. Barney's overconfidence in the dog's abilities leads to unexpected and humorous situations. In Man in the Middle, Barney and Thelma Lou have a spat that quickly escalates, roping in Andy, Helen, and everyone else in the process. Andy finds himself caught in the middle as he tries to mediate, leading to a series of arguments and reconciliations that create chaos among the couples. In Barney's Uniform, Barney faces a tough situation when a local bully threatens to beat him up for issuing a littering ticket. To protect himself, Barney starts wearing his uniform around the clock, hoping to avoid the confrontation. In Opie's Fortune, Opie finds a wallet containing $50, and Andy tells him he can keep the money if no one claims it within a week. The episode explores the themes of honesty and patience. In Goodbye, Sheriff Taylor, Andy considers a job offer in Raleigh and leaves Barney in charge as sheriff for a day to see if he can handle the role. Chaos ensues under Barney's watch, highlighting the importance of Andy's steady hand in Mayberry. Time for another trivia question. In Barney's Bloodhound, what's the name of Barney's canine recruit? A, Rex. B, Spot. C, Fido. Or D, Blue. The answer is D, Blue. In The Pageant, Aunt Bee eagerly auditions for the role of Lady Mayberry in the town's centennial pageant. However, her enthusiasm outweighs her acting skills, leading to less than stellar results. Next, in The Darling Baby, the musically inclined Darling family returns to Mayberry in search of a suitable husband for Charlene's newborn daughter. To everyone's surprise, they set their sights on Opie, causing comedic chaos as they refuse to take no for an answer. In Andy and Helen Have Their Day, Andy plans a romantic picnic by the lake for him and Helen, hoping for a peaceful day together. However, their tranquility is shattered by Barney and Goober's constant interruptions. In Three Wishes for Opie, Barney's whimsical purchase of a fortune-telling game sets off unexpected events when Opie gives it a try. Mistaking the game for genuine magic, Barney believes he's summoned the spirit of a centuries-old count. In Otis Sues the County, a mishap in the sheriff's office leads to trouble when Otis is persuaded by a dubious lawyer to sue the county. Despite Andy and Barney's attempts to dissuade him, Otis pursues the lawsuit with comical results. Time out for trivia. In 3 wishes for Opie, which of the following was not one of Opie's wishes? A. Andy and Helen get married. B. Be in arithmetic. C. A jackknife. D. Miss Crump would teach 6th grade. The answer is A. Andy and Helen get married. In Barney Fife, Realtor, Barney jumps into the real estate game, hoping to make a quick buck. His scheme involves convincing Andy to sell his house and buy another, but things quickly spiral out of control as Barney's plans hit unforeseen obstacles. In Goober Takes a Car Apart, chaos ensues when Andy leaves Goober in charge while he's away. Instead of manning the phones, Goober decides to multitask by working on cars right in the courthouse. In The Rehabilitation of Otis, Barney's attempts to reform Otis backfire hilariously when Otis mistakes a cow for a horse. Barney's efforts to rehabilitate him only lead to Otis leaving town. However, Barney soon realizes he misses Otis's antics and desperately tries to convince him to return to Mayberry. In The Lucky Letter, Barney scoffs at a chain letter, leading to a series of unfortunate events. His luck worsens when he must pass a marksmanship test to keep his job. Barney faces the consequences of his decision, learning a valuable lesson about superstition along the way. In Goober and the Art of Love, Andy and Barney take on the challenge of teaching Goober the ropes of romance to stop him from third-wheeling on their dates. Their plan? Set him up with a date and offer some advice, but things don't exactly go according to plan. Let's see if you've been paying attention. In Goober Takes a Car Apart, whose car did Goober take apart? A. Otis Campbell. B. Floyd Lawson. C. Rafe Hollister. Or D. Gilly Walker. The answer is D. Gilly Walker. In Barney Runs for Sheriff, Barney jumps at the chance to run for sheriff when he believes Andy's leaving town. But when Andy decides to stay, Barney finds himself running against his friend for the position. However, Andy misses the election filing deadline, leaving Barney as the sole candidate. In If I Had a $250,000, Barney stumbles upon a whopping $250,000 from a bank heist and decides to play detective. Going undercover, he seeks out the robber, but little does he know, the thief has his own plans for the money. Next, in TV or Not TV, Mayberry gets tangled in a web of deception when supposed TV producers visit to scout for a show about Andy, the sheriff without a gun. Little do they know these producers are actually cunning bank robbers planning a heist. When an attractive friend of the Taylor family visits Mayberry after breaking off her engagement, Helen becomes jealous. Andy's old friend stirs up feelings of insecurity in Helen, leading to tension in the usually peaceful household. In the case of the punch in the nose, Barney stirs up trouble by digging into an old police file about a brawl between Floyd and Charles Foley nearly 2 decades ago. Refusing to let sleeping dogs lie, Barney's investigation reignites tensions, leading to a chaotic restaging of the incident and a flurry of fisticuffs. Are you ready for another trivia question? In Barney Runs for Sheriff, how many documented cases of malfeasance in the sheriff's office does Barney say he has? A. 12, B. 14, C. 26, or D. 76? The answer is D. 76. In Opie's newspaper, Opie struggles to boost sales of his penny paper until he decides to jazz it up with scandalous town gossip. However, when Andy, Barney, and Aunt Bee discover the content, they scramble to contain the fallout. In Aunt Bee's Invisible Beau, Aunt Bee, feeling she's a burden to Andy and Helen's relationship, invents a suitor to put their minds at ease. However, things get complicated when Barney discovers the truth about Aunt Bee's imaginary romance. Next, in The Arrest of the Fun Girls, Andy and Barney find themselves in a pickle when they have to arrest 2 lively gals from Mount Pilot, hoping to keep the incident under wraps to avoid upsetting Helen and Thelma Lou. In The Luck of Newton Monroe, Mayberry encounters a wave of misfortune with the arrival of a bumbling salesman played by Don Rickles. Andy tries to boost his spirits by giving him odd jobs, but everything seems to go awry. Here's another trivia question for you. In Opie's newspaper, what was the price of Opie's newspaper? A, 1 cent. B, 3 cents. C, 5 cents. Or D, 10 cents. The answer is B, 3 cents. In Opie Flunks Arithmetic, Andy becomes overly concerned about Opie's academic performance when Helen mentions his struggles in math. Andy's anxiety leads him to pressure Opie excessively, but Helen intervenes, suggesting that perhaps Andy's approach is counterproductive. In Opie and the Carnival, Opie sets out to win Andy a birthday present at the Carnival shooting gallery. However, he falls victim to a pair of swindlers using rigged guns. Andy confronts the tricksters and outsmarts them to ensure Opie's efforts don't go to waste. In Banjo-Playing Deputy, Andy brings in a down-on-his-luck banjo player to temporarily fill Barney's shoes. However, the musician's lack of law enforcement skills quickly becomes evident. With the departure of Don Knotts and the transition to color the following season, this episode marks the end of a memorable era in Mayberry. Here's the next trivia question. In Opie and the Carnival, what prize does Opie win for his father's birthday present? A, necktie. B, a hunting knife. C, Swiss watch. D, electric razor. The answer is D, an electric razor. That was season 5. So how'd you do? If you got them all right, congratulations. Consider yourself a super fan. Now click the video on the screen for more of the Andy Griffith Show.